Sorry, we're closed.
Welcome back. Welcome, Sean. Welcome. I have one thing I need to talk about immediately.
Is this an emergency topic?
An emergency topic. And the title of this emergency topic is Sean Gets a Pedicure. Emergency topic.
Okay.
Now, last night, to set the background here, set the reason why this is coming up. Last night, we had our lovely parents over, and sister, brother-in-law, and the new baby. And I don't remember how it came up.
Stephanie just outed me.
Yes.
Because I went to an Elton John concert earlier in the week.
Yes.
Dad. And then got a pedicure.
Yes. Dad brought up a Shaq apparently having gross feet.
Bad feet, yes.
And then Stephanie immediately, without hesitation,
she was ready. She had it in the holster.
Says, "Mr. Light, I need to tell you something about your son."
We need to talk.
And that thing was getting a pedicure.
That's correct.
Sean, do you have any initial thoughts you want to say out there to the listeners?
First of all, I understand that this is not necessarily something that a gentleman will typically do. It is a lovely experience.
Mm-hmm.
It is truly lovely. It is awkward, right? There's definitely, like, you know me, I am somebody who, as we've discussed at some other points, don't feel awkwicity.
Yes. For those of you at home, that's awkwardness.
Yeah. And I definitely feel it a little bit when I went in there. I mean, I'm a 6'4" man.
Yes.
And there was one other guy in there at the time. So I feel a little bit. It doesn't really affect me much. I mean, a 1 out of 10 feeling it. But look, I have like dry heels, and we did a comparison last night. Patrick has pristine heels. Pristine heels.
Never been to a pedicure in my life, but still have pristine heels.
I went once before in a mall, in a random mall in Oregon, Eugene, Oregon, home of the Oregon Ducks. And look, it's the end of the winter here. They've been beaten up over the last 8 years since my last pedicure. And I just needed to get it tightened up. What's going on?
Stephanie is airdropping me pictures, and it has now stopped my video. Stephanie was airdropping me pictures, and now it stopped me my video. We're back, though.
Are there pictures of me in the pedicure?
Let me see. I can bring up my phone on my computer.
That'd be great content.
Great content. I just got to find out where the...
Also, did she take pictures of me?
It would appear that way.
All right. Well,
picture's not readily available at this time.
Well, anyway, yeah, I'm not really rattled by it. I mean, is this how dramatic is this information?
I don't think it's that dramatic. I think it's more common in today's world. I also think that it's more common in the Northeast. Gentlemen up here seem to be a little more pampered than elsewhere in the country. Like I think if you told some of your Southern boys on the podcast in your baseball days,
right,
that you did this, I think they might not take.
I went with the baseball team in Oregon, not with a team. I went with one other guy. But like you remember on like the getaway days, like, and I don't know if you guys ever did this, but so in the minor leagues, I don't know. This does not happen in the majors, but I gotta imagine it doesn't. But like on the days when you're checking out of the hotel, right? Mm-hmm. This is classic minor leagues here. Mm-hmm. It's your getaway day. You're leaving the city, and your checkout time at your hotel, at your freaking Motel 6, is noon. So everybody has to leave their room, and the whole team is just hanging out in the lobby of this hotel, right? They usually do like 2 or 3 getaway, or they have like extended or late checkout rooms, right? So guys will gather in there. Some of the coaches get it. But what we were doing for when I was working in Oregon is on some trips we would just take the bus to the mall, and guys would just peruse the mall during that time. I had wanted to get a massage. I wanted to go, but we're in the middle of Oregon. They didn't have like a massage envy or something like that. So I was like, I know they give like foot massages in these pedicure joints. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll do that. I'm not trying to get my like nails done, or I'm not, they don't care if they're working on my cuticles. That time I went for the massage. This time I went because I had like medical condition with my heels, and the skin. I wanted to get that, like, I don't know what they do, just get rid of it. So it was whatever, but so that's the first time I went was with one other guy from the baseball team.
I love how you started off saying I went with the baseball team.
Yeah.
It was one other person
on
the baseball team. Well, listen, I don't think it's as rare as – I think it's rare. I don't think it's as rare up here than it is elsewhere in the country.
I would agree.
But
we look, after when this information was brought to the table, we examined heels. Mm-hmm. Me and Patrick compared our heels.
It's true. This happened.
Mine are significantly worse. Significantly.
Yeah.
So that, like, when you look at my heels, you're like, dude, you got to get that taken care of.
No.
You think just put some lotion on it and shut the hell up?
I mean, it's weird. But if it does it hurt?
I feel like no, it doesn't hurt at all. It feels well. I have no problem with it, but it was like it just looked. Yeah, I was like, I want to get this tightened up. It feels like I need to get this tightened up.
I mean, listen, you made a decision.
And now I got to live with the decision.
I got to live with the repercussions. I can't be a man and not make fun of you for it.
That's fair. That's totally fair. That's totally fair.
So this is where we're at. This is why it's on the podcast right now, because I have to tell people.
Yeah, let's run a poll on Instagram or Twitter or something.
Let's run a quick poll.
Is Sean a lose piece for
getting a pedicure? Yeah. I think we should run that poll. And you know what? We're going to do a live poll. Is Sean a lose piece for getting a pedicure? I'll tag you.
I'm gonna get great. Is it? Are you doing it on Twitter?
Mm-hmm. It's the quickest poll.
Yeah.
And I can give the results at the end of the podcast.
Oh yeah, that'll be good.
Mm-hmm. Is Sean a lose piece?
Yeah, be careful with the term of derogatory.
Would you do dash piece?
Yeah, I would do dash.
Right? Piece. It is dash.
I would do dash piece. I'd want them to know that it's lose piece.
Yes,
not lose piece.
Hey, let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
Because yesterday I was half made fun of, but then when I explained, people were like, "Okay, that might not. I understand why you did that."
Okay.
So I'm going to the Kentucky Derby.
Okay.
Let me just quickly put the yes or no.
Let's get the poll out there, Patrick. Let's get the people out there. We're
gonna do it for an hour.
Okay.
No one really votes in the poll after an hour anyway. Okay, it's out there. Sean, could you retweet, please? Anywho, yesterday I announced to my family that I'm going to the Kentucky Derby this year. It's May 7th. I like to give my mother a heads up on those types of things because it's also Mother's Day weekend. We like to celebrate as a family. So given the heads up, we can.
Can I vote in this poll?
You may vote in this poll. I will also vote in this poll. Am I allowed?
Wow, we've already got some votes. We got 3 votes already. Wow, 5 votes.
Okay, we're not gonna live vote this.
Are you Twitter famous?
But I'm going to the Kentucky Derby. Looking forward to it. I've been wanting to do that for a while.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's the year that Bob Baffert won't be a part of it. But
Bob Baffert.
He's banned, so it's like not even.
Oh,
I'm not even see him.
He'll be there. He'll be there.
He'll be somewhere. He's suing Churchill Downs.
Of course he is. He's Bob Baffert.
He's Bob Baffert. Anywho.
I love Bob Baffert.
So do I. Anywho, so there's a black tie event the night before.
Okay.
Now, you cannot purchase a ticket to this black tie event. You must be given a ticket.
Yes.
Only 500 total tickets, and apparently it's as exclusive of an event as it gets in the United States. Very difficult to be in there. Names such as Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, high political figures are the ones usually in attendance. You got to be somebody essentially to get into, or I guess at least know somebody to get into this. Now the name of the event is spelled BARNSTABLE.
This is great.
And then brown. So that word first, brown afterwards. Now, I obviously see in this word.
Spell it again for the people.
BARNSTABLE. Country of origin, the United States. But now I see, obviously, seeing the word barn and the word stable makes sense. We're going Churchill Downs.
Yes.
That makes sense. However, my thought process is that barn and stable are separate words. Now, and if they were supposed to be pronounced as Barnstable, that it would be a hyphen. A hyphen.
Fair enough.
Because they're two separate words.
Fair enough.
And so then I'm saying to myself out loud, I said Barnstable because I'm like, well, maybe it's a last name of someone, or maybe Barnstable Brown is somebody.
Barnstable Brown, when you say it that way, doesn't sound so bad.
I thought maybe that's the person. Like maybe this is this guy's event. I don't freaking know.
I'm going to Barnstable Brown.
Yes, exactly. So I say it to a friend of mine, and I was like, is it Barnstable or is it Barnstable? Like, and the only reason I'm even considering Barnstable is because it's Churchill Downs.
Sure.
So if this was any other place, if I was going to L.A. and this said that, I wouldn't even think Barnstable.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point.
But the only reason I'm considering Barnstable here is because it's Churchill Downs. And he goes, I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's Barnstable though. And I was like, what? There's no hyphen. There's no. What? They're two separate words. I didn't know when you combine them, they're still Barnstable.
Yeah.
So it was a weird thing, but I got made fun of a little bit in the beginning. People then, as seemingly are here, the exact reaction.
The LA comment makes it better.
Yeah. The exact reaction you just heard from Sean in the last 3 minutes as I was explaining this, the beginning laughter, and this guy's a moron. To the second. Okay, well, maybe.
Well, the word Barnstable
I thought it was a name.
It's comical.
I thought it was a name. I did not think that Barnstable was a word. I thought this was a gentleman's name.
Were you looking at it and you were like, okay, this is fishy that it's Barnstable and it's the Kentucky Derby.
Exactly. But you have to, like you said, if I'm in L.A., I'm not even considering Barnstable.
That's a good point. I would have looked at it and said, it can't be Barnstable. That sounds absurd.
Barnstable sounds absurd to me.
Yeah, it does. But then I would say Kentucky Derby. It's got to be Barnstable. But then you get to the point. This is where the rubber meets the road. Is when you're pronouncing it to someone. When you go down there and you're saying like, "Hey, I'm going to this event." How do you say it? Because that's what you're really committing to, right?
Yeah, that is what you're committing to.
Because when you open your mouth and you say it, it's like, okay, well, now I'm either going to be an idiot or I'm going to have this one right. And how would you have, if you were down there and somebody was like, it's like, where are you going tonight? And it was like, it was Tom Brady. He wanted to know where you were headed tonight. Yes. Would you have said, I'm going to Barnstable Brown? Or would you have said, I'm going to Barnstable Brown? Or would you have done this? I'm going to Barnstable Brown. I don't really know how to pronounce it.
The most likely option is this last one.
Yes.
However, there is a chance, if I am unsure of the pronunciation of the word, there is a chance I go, oh, I'm going to the Brown event. And try to snake by, and then have him be like, Tom Brady be like, oh, Barnstable Brown. I'd be like, yes, Barnstable Brown. Of course. I just called the Brown event.
Yes, of course. I was just testing you, Tom.
So, but as we always do.
Are you hydrated, Tom? Because I have a sneaky suspicion here.
I know, that was ridiculous. But then
and now we really.
What an asshole. Yeah. I have I went online and typed in Barnstable.
Okay.
Barnstable. Dictionary.com does have it. It's a noun, and its a meaning is a city in southeast Massachusetts. Which doesn't really seem like a word to me. But anyway, they have.
I wonder if
Barnstable
Brown was like a horse.
See, but everyone's making fun of me saying it's Barnstable. But let's see if Barnstable, how the dictionary.com pronounces this.
Wow.
I'm back.
Barnstable.
For one more time for the folks at home.
Wow.
Guys, there you have it.
The jury.
I get made fun of. Dictionary.com has this Barnstable.
Case closed. It might actually be Barnstable.
It might be. Doesn't it sound super fancy?
Barnstable?
Barnstable
It sounds comically fancy.
I'm going to Barnstable Brown.
It sounds like it would be a character in Family Guy.
Very true.
Yes.
But you have it here, folks.
And he lives at Quahog Manor.
So now, if people, when we go to this, I'm going to start saying Barnstable. If everyone's saying Barnstable, I'll be like, you're wrong.
I wonder if it's like an OG horse from the Kentucky Derby, like a guy. Like
let's you know what, Sean? Let's see if they have the event. If it's this famous of an event, let's see if they have Barnstable Barn Gala. Got pop right up.
A gala.
Okay. Bucket list events. Oh, it says you can buy tickets. Maybe.
Ooh.
Hold on. It says also might cost you $5,500 for a ticket. Is that Michael Bublé? No, not Michael Bublé. Yeah, I mean, they have stuff here about it. Black tie star-studded bash is held at the home of Patricia Barnstable Brown. I wish I doubt someone has her.
Well, now we got to go into Jesus. Patricia Barnstable Brown. Who is this person?
Okay. Let's go.
Who? The mystery of Patricia Barnstable Brown.
Oh, it popped up at the end of it. Net worth.
That sounds about right.
Yes, it does.
So it's at her home?
It seems that way. Patricia Barnstable, biography, IMBD. She's
a movie star?
Born May 23rd, 1951, Louisville, Kentucky. Oh, she's younger than Dad.
She's a pup. She's a movie star, and her name is Patricia Barnstable Brown.
It looks like Barnstable Brown family takes pride in supporting UK. That's not what we're looking for.
Okay, so now we definitely think her name is Barnstable.
So,
we no longer think it's Barnstable.
It'd be weird. Wouldn't that be weird?
Well, now I think it would.
Patricia Barnstable Brown?
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Barnstable ain't great.
No, but it sounds more like a name.
It is so odd that it is linked to the Kentucky Derby as Barnstable.
Yes. Oh, so the Barnstable twins. I guess maybe it's them, but maybe the people. I don't know. I don't really know how to talk about this. But they are movie actress twins, identical, and they are daughters of college basketball star Dale Barnstable. He perished in 2019.
We've gone too far with this.
He passed away.
Now I'm on, who's Dale Barnstable?
He was banned from the NBA for life as a result of a 1951 point-shaving scandal.
No way.
That's interesting. But anyway, I mean, this is a long article, and I have to find what they're actually why these people are the ones that have this.
Okay.
But I'm not going to do that. But interesting.
We've learned some things.
We've learned some things. Barnstable, at the very least, now they might pronounce their name Barnstable, but at the very least, Barnstable no longer a ridiculous thought.
No, it is no longer.
No longer a ridiculous thought. Well, I'm really happy we did that.
Well,
Great job, Sean.
We learned a lot.
Good job.
And
Good
wasted all of our listeners' time.
They learned that that's the case. That I'm not an idiot. But anyway, you mentioned Tom Brady going to this event. I mean, are you surprised at all that he unretired?
Well, no. Well, a little, because, like, why did you retire in the first place? Like, it took him no time at all to be like, nah, I screwed up. You and I said last night that it did seem sus when he retired. Like, you were the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
And
he was the leading passer last year.
And, like, there was, like, weird, like, it was almost like they peer pressured him into it a little bit. And yeah, it just, like, I think everybody was like, dude, he's for sure coming back again.
Yeah, it didn't make sense to leave. Like, if he won a Super Bowl this year, last year, I would have been like, okay, maybe he's just going to go out on top.
Yeah.
Call it a career. He had an unbelievable career. Call it a career. Even if you were the leading passer and all that stuff that he was last year, go out on top. To lose, and I don't know what point in the playoffs he lost, but to lose in the playoffs, kind of unceremoniously leave as possibly the greatest NFL quarterback, probably the greatest NFL quarterback of all time.
I mean, he for sure is. It's undebatable.
It just feels weird.
Well, I feel the exact same way, and it's got to be interesting to retire, and like I heard JJ Redick talking the other day, and he was just like, I have nothing in the tank. Like I have no ability to focus, no ability to get it up every single day. I just don't have that anymore. It's got to be weird for Tom Brady, who is literally 100% focused on football. His whole life is like watching film, like a maniac, and then just all of a sudden he stops, right? So like there's this huge void in his life, and then he's going to inevitably ask the questions like, can I still do it? And then he'll think about last season as he savaged everyone in the NFL, and he's like, duh, I can still do this. And then, we're right in there. There's more to that story, man. It was so weird how it all went down.
Yeah, and everyone said Tom Brady retired. I was like, what? Why?
Do we now have to backtrack on our comments last week of absolutely crucifying the reporter for saying he might come back because he's hydrated?
No.
Because it's still an absurd remark?
I was on board with everything in the article minus the hydration. Hydration is a basic necessity of living. Now, maybe he's overhydrating. I don't know. But it's a basic necessity of living. Yes, it is a part of the TB12 method, which also seems ridiculous. A basic necessity of living is a part of your regimen for performing well. I drink water every day. I'm not trying to come back to the MLB. So I just thought that part was ridiculous. Don't include that part. Everything else, I was on board with that. He's still doing TB12. Like, he was really staying in shape. I just don't want to hear at the end, he's also staying hydrated.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
No, I will not backtrack my comments on that reporter. He's still an idiot for including that. But Dave Portnoy recently came out on the Dave Portnoy show, I believe, saying that he thought we're getting a little Brett Favre vibes here.
A little, but Brett Favre, you can't say that because Brett Favre it got really weird at the end of his career. I guess it could get really weird for Brady.
If he becomes not that good anymore.
If he becomes not that good, because he went to the Vikings, he went to the Jets, and then he had that scandal where he sent lewd images to a Jets reporter.
The other thing that and why I don't necessarily agree with the Brett Favre vibes is the Packers didn't want Brett Favre anymore. They wanted Aaron Rodgers. They wanted to move on from Brett Favre. And I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are thrilled to have Tom Brady back.
Oh, 100%.
So it's just different. I mean, you have the leading passer in the NFL, and a team that the team wants him. It's seemingly, at least to the public eye. The thing that I never liked is just don't retire.
I really be solid.
As we said, maybe there's more to the story. Maybe the family's like, well, I feel like we should, it's time to move on, type of thing. I also understand that it is probably a tremendous amount of work, specifically his method. It has to be mentally exhausting. So I can understand maybe like, oh, you know what? Maybe I just want to do that this year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It just, if you make a decision and move on, like don't. Like not that I'm comparing myself to Tom Brady here, but when the Mariners released me, I couldn't throw a damn strike anymore, and so I took that summer and fall to like try to figure it out. I was going to a place by myself to try to figure it out. And I had made I don't think I announced my retirement like 4 years later as a joke, but I was not going to say anything or make the decision of retiring until I was like, I don't got it.
Yeah.
And then make the decision. It just, to me, it felt rushed. It felt like, really?
Like, yeah, I felt the same.
When I said I was retiring, the only one that questioned me really was Mom. But like everyone else was like,
well, the thing with your retirement was that everyone was like, you definitely still have it in the tank.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, do you still want to do this?
Yes. Oh, and the other thing was, could I get my, there were teams offering me drugs to try to fix my mental issues. Like, I was like, hey, baseball is not forever for anyone. As Scott Boras says, the only one he thinks that beat the game of baseball was Greg Maddux. But I just didn't know if it was there, and I obviously didn't have fun going out there. And I know some guys that took those meds to fix mental issues, and maybe it took it for a little bit, but most of the guys that I know that took that still only have under a year of service time, or
it's not worth. This is like selling your soul for a couple,
Yeah, and if you even get there,
yeah,
So I thought it was a rushed retirement. It was weird to me that it happened, and I was not surprised in any way to hear that he was coming back.
Well, let's see. There bound to be some stories that come out.
I'm sure there will be. They do keep things pretty buttoned up over there at the Brady household, though.
That's true.
The Brady bunch. But you see a picture, not to make any reference or mean comments to these people, but they take the picture. It was like it looked posed, but I don't think it was. It was Giselle walking with the 3 children.
Yeah.
And it had like her arms around all of them. And I was like...
It was on his gram.
It was on his gram?
Yeah, that was like his post of welcome back.
Like, I don't think our mom ever did that. Ever. Not that we were the Brady bunch, but like I don't think that we ever like... I don't know. I can't remember a time where we were walking, not that I wouldn't probably notice, but that where she was walking us and she had all her arms around us.
I don't know. That's...
Seemed weird.
Probably at some point.
Probably at some point.
But mom didn't have paparazzi following around to capture the loving moment.
That's very true. But let's dive into it, Sean. Yesterday, 2 days ago, Selection Sunday.
Correct.
We filled out our brackets as a family yesterday, and I have no idea about college basketball in any way. I watched a singular college basketball game this year. It was Iona versus Manhattan. Neither team in this tournament. No. So my only teams that I know anything about.
Who do you know about in this tournament?
No one. I don't know a single thing about any of these teams besides that Coach K coaches Duke.
So I'm really going to be carrying this segment. Yeah,
a little quick story though about college basketball. I was watching TikTok this morning, and I saw I want to say they were playing Kansas. I saw a guy looking at a little bit of an older video. Went over and they were losing by like 30, and went over to the Kansas guy. He's just dribbling the ball out, and the game's over.
Yeah, this is Monmouth.
Okay, well, you ruined the surprise for everyone. But the guy goes and he steals the ball, goes and dunks it, and the guys are on it. And I was like, "That was a douche. What the hell are you doing? You're down 30. Give me a break." And he turns around. He's got a Monmouth jersey on. I was like, "Oh, what a douche."
Yeah, he's. I believe that's that kid Pappas who was really good. Who's really good for Monmouth right now. He got a
good for Monmouth right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, because
this is not an old video.
Huh?
This is not an old video.
No, I'm almost positive that's the kid. It's the kid who's there right now, and it could be 6 years ago.
But how is?
I believe he was a freshman at the time, and it legitimately could be 6 years ago because of COVID. Everyone's got a crap load of time.
Interesting. So when they play Kansas?
Oh, they people do that. I mean, you just might not remember. You don't pay any attention to it.
That's true.
But
I pay no attention.
North Carolina was supposed to come to Monmouth this year. Roy Williams had committed to that, and then Hubert Davis got the job. He was like, "Actually, no, we're not going to do that."
Interesting. Yeah.
So that's not rare, but I think that guy's still there. He's actually pretty good. He had like offers to go like high majors this year as like a grad transfer, and he decided to stay at Monmouth. Unfortunately, they couldn't pull it off because St. Peter's, the Peacocks, took him down.
They did in the finals.
So, what do you got here? Do you have any? Are you just straight guessing on these things or what?
I don't really know anything about it. I have Duke winning because I want to root for Coach K.
Same. Same thing.
Yeah,
I actually think Duke has a chance.
I like stories. I like stories here.
I think Paolo Banchero, or Banchero, I don't know how you say his last name, but he's a 6'10" freshman for Duke, who I believe he's the best player in the country.
Okay. Better than Peter Kiss.
Yeah. Peter Kiss is awesome. But Paolo's going to be the number one pick in the NBA draft. Okay. He's going to be top 3 at least. So I think I like him a lot. I think that I watched them in the obviously in Coach K's last game at Duke. Yeah. I think they just got tight. So I'm not really worried about that. And it's kind of good that they've already experienced some high moments. So they have some experience with that. And then I watched them in the ACC championship game lose to Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech just wasn't missing. They had a guy, I think it was like, he nailed his first 6 threes. Virginia Tech barely made the tournament. They only made it because they won the ACC tournament. They're hot. Yeah, but this one guy was like drilling like fadeaway step back threes. He was a transfer from Wofford.
Perennial power.
Yeah, perennial power, Wofford Terriers. And it was just one of those games where Virginia Tech's just going to win this. You know what I mean? Like just making shots that it's just going to happen. So I don't really knock them for having lost either of those 2 games. What?
I'm thinking about my really idiot moment last night.
Oh yeah. Where is it?
I had the top. It's the top left. I had an
egregious error.
Egregious. So I don't know who picked. So there is a game.
Stephanie picked him.
Okay. UConn, the 5 seeds, takes on New Mexico State, the 12 seed. And I guess I had too many scotches. I wasn't thinking, and we were making fun of Stephanie's bracket. And so we're making fun of her bracket, and I go, like, real cavalier, like, real douche move. I go over to Sean, like, oh, look at this idiot. God. She picked North Mexico State over UConn, as if the country of Mexico gets one team per year in the March Madness bracket. I looked at Sean. I was like, Sean goes, okay, yeah, but it's not North Mexico State.
They're actually a solid team.
Solid team. Well, 12 seed. 12 seed out of the New Mexico region.
The North Mexican Basketball Conference.
Do you have any major upsets in the bracket, Sean?
Upsets. I do. I have Montana State over Texas Tech. I think that's a pretty big one.
Montana State. Where is that?
Top left. There. Texas Tech is a 3.
Okay. Oh, you got a 14 over a 3 dog.
I have that. I watched Montana State a little bit this year. They got a good team. I think that they have experience, which I think wins at that level. Texas Tech has a first-year head coach, so I think that it's possible. So I threw that in there.
Anything's possible in March.
I got Vermont in the Sweet 16.
Okay.
Vermont won their championship game by 40.
Against who?
Against UMBC. University of Maryland, Baltimore County. They throttled.
They're hot.
Throttled.
They're hot.
Them. I think. I got Vermont in the Sweet 16. Arkansas is a good team, and I feel bad because one of my former colleagues with the Lakers is a coach for Arkansas. Mm-hmm. But Vermont is just such a sexy pick because they won by so much, and they're such. They have a couple high major transfers, and they're a mid major power.
I got Arkansas winning that game. Arkansas, and then I got also them being UConn. And you want to know why I had them being UConn?
Why?
Solely because UConn's horrendous at football.
UConn's got Danny Hurley. They play super hard. They got a guy on their team named A Cook. And it's irrelevant other than the fact that that's his name.
Okay.
But UConn's just one of those teams that's like super fiery. They're like exactly the same as Seton Hall. And they're just gonna be better than Vermont. So
is Georgetown season over?
Georgetown did not win a single game in the Big East. Oh God! They lost every single game in the Big East this year, and they're like 80% of the way through the season. A report came out that they had given Patrick Ewing an extension after last season, but nobody knew about it because they won the Big East tournament. They were terrible last year and randomly won the Big East tournament. Okay. And then they made the dance, and everyone's like, "Oh my God!" And they extended him, and then they proceeded to lose every single game this year.
That's tough. How many more
years? He's not the guy. I don't know. They did not disclose the terms of the contract. Okay. But yes, their season is done. They lost like 20 games in a row to end the season.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're really bad. I do have some more in here. I have Wyoming over St. Mary's. I think that's a really bold one.
I got Indiana beating Wyoming in the playing game.
I didn't even know that they were playing Indiana, to be fair. Now I'm a little rattled by that pick. But I don't know. I like Wyoming. So, okay. And for no other, I've never seen them play. I just snagged them. I'll tell you one that I actually do like. Okay. This is a mammoth. This is a mammoth upset here. I got Yale over Purdue.
Yale over Purdue. Former number 1 team in the country. Purdue.
Former number 1 team in the country.
I have Purdue in the Final Four playing Duke.
Well, boy, that would be devastating. I think Purdue is a good team, no doubt. But Yale has the makeup of a bracket buster. They got a good point guard who hits threes that he shouldn't be hitting. I watched their last 2 games of the season, and in the finals, in the Ivy League final, Brad Stevens was at the game scouting for the Celtics, and I thought he was there to scout the Player of the Year who's on Princeton, and also the 4-star player commit for Princeton. Yale won, obviously, and by the end of the game, I was like, is Brad Stevens here to recruit this guy? Because this guy is single-handedly dismantling Princeton. Their point guard is like one of those TJ Sorrentine guys from Vermont who, if he gets hot, he can genuinely take him down. And Purdue has vulnerabilities, no question.
No question.
So I actually like that one. That'll be a fun one to watch.
That'll be fun. That'd be really bad for me.
That would be bad. Let's see what else I got here on the bracket. I got Colgate over Wisconsin. Wow, I picked 3 14s. 3 14s to win that.
Be right.
That ain't gonna happen.
I got Wisconsin in the Elite Eight.
Now looking at this, I got to imagine Wisconsin's going to win that game. I watched Colgate play in 2 of their games, and they have this like bulldog center. He's scruffy.
Colgate?
Colgate. He's got a full beard, and he looks like a guy who is going to kill it for the next 50 years at the YMCA. But he just is like one of those like shifty, crafty guys who somehow always gets it off. Now, against Wisconsin, it's going to be a whole different story.
Yeah, I was going to say, typically you don't pick guys that are going to be great at the YMCA to beat Wisconsin. But listen, Sean,
they have great shooters, and they're all super old. They've been to like 5 straight. This number's probably wrong, but they've been to 5 straight Patriot League finals.
Ooh.
That is impressive.
Patriot League.
I don't care what you say. That is impressive. That is impressive. So I got Colgate over Wisconsin. I did not realize they had 3 14s when I did not take Longwood over Tennessee.
Okay.
No, that is.
Want to double check
that is not happening. Other than that,
who's your Final Four?
I have Duke. Yeah, so this is where it doesn't get crazy.
Okay.
Duke, Villanova, UCLA, and Kansas.
So we have 2 of the same Final Fours in Duke and Kansas.
And I have Duke, Kansas in the finals, and I think Kansas wins that, but I picked Duke because I want it. 80-78.
Wow.
A lot of scoring in that game.
I got 78-73 Duke favor. Wow. And then I have Arizona and Purdue as the other 2 guys.
Arizona's really good, but you go through these brackets and you just like try to pick parity. Like you try to pick things, and I don't know anything. Well, I've watched. This is the most college basketball I've watched in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
So I know a lot about these teams, which is the ultimate handicap.
Yeah. Anything can happen in March Madness. My thing is I don't watch any college basketball, and these guys really tried hard on their bracket. How am I going to be like, oh, okay, well, when it's got Arizona against Houston. Yeah, Houston seems like a good team, 5 seed, but Arizona should be the better team.
They are.
So it's like it's hard
to
pick.
What do you think? You think like – so here's the interesting thing to me. So, like, let's pick one of these games. Let's say – let's just Colgate, Wisconsin. That's a good one, right?
Okay.
So Colgate goes to Wisconsin first week of the season. They are expected to get pummeled, right? The expectation is to pummel.
Yeah.
What's in March now is like Colgate playing Wisconsin, and they're like, it's freaking March, man. Anything can happen. Is the change in the mindset of the team, because there's something on this bracket is going to blow people up.
Yes. So my firm belief is it's all psychology. March Madness. It's similar to when
the fans get behind the underdog.
Yeah, it's similar to when like the only time I can ever really remember is like when I was in high school basketball, because I didn't play college basketball. Is when we had a really good team my senior year, and then like a team like Marlboro would come in and like trying to get up for that game when I know we're going to be we're supposed to be in by 40. It was really difficult. But then when you get St. Anthony's coming in, you're like, you can't be more. You're so excited for the game. So I think it's a part March where now this team actually believes they can win this game.
It happens. Somebody's going to do it. Why not us?
And you have a Wisconsin team, let's say, for example, that is supposed to win. And now they'll get up for the game. It's March Madness, but they're supposed to win this game, and they're supposed to win it handedly. It's just a different mindset. They have 2 different teams coming here. One's got nothing to lose, and one's got everything to lose. So that's why. But I just think it's also I think it's such a disparity between 1 and 16s. That's why you almost never see them win, because also, it's only happened once. You would say anything can happen in March Madness. Doesn't seem like anything can. So I just think you have that belief in yourself, and it's like, well, let's just go out there, give it our best shot, because we have nothing to lose here.
Just throwing up tray balls
threes,
and seeing if we can get hot.
Tray balls, yes.
I really hope Bryant wins their playing game because I just want to see them get a crack at the one.
So yeah, Peter Kiss doesn't frustrate me personally, but
like
I hated
his antics.
I hated playing against guys like that.
Oh, he would be. You would want to kill him.
So what I would love, who would they be playing?
Arizona.
I would love for them to go in there and they just get absolutely pummeled.
This is the classic.
Just get beat, and he gets like 0 points.
Well, if you're Arizona, so I wanted to pick them, but it would be so egregious to pick them. It's only happened once in history. I think this is the classic case of they lose the playing game, where it's just like so anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But if I'm Arizona, let's say they get there, they play Arizona in the first round. If I'm Arizona, I'm saying, yo, my best defender on that guy, don't leave him.
Yes.
He doesn't score. If he doesn't score, nothing else can. Double him, whatever you got to do.
Yes. They're not the other guys aren't beating us.
No chance. They have one other guy who's solid, but not Arizona solid. Yes. Not Arizona solid. So that's why I was like, it's just going to be overwhelming. Yes. They're gonna watch the film. They're gonna be like, this guy is out of his freaking mind. He's legit. He's really good. But let's double him. Don't let him do anything. Every time, hound him. Get in his face. Be one of those. Remember when we coached the 8th grade team and we had Michael Bartner. Maybe you're listening, man. Mike, you did a great job in this game. They played that kid from Long Branch who ended up playing at Florida. He played at Florida.
Is he good at NBA?
I don't know.
Okay.
But so he was good enough. He played at Florida, he never left him. Just stay in his pocket, even if the ball's on the other side of the court. Stay in his pocket, and I think they could do something like that.
Yeah, I think so too. Here's the thing I want to talk about: the March Madness bracket.
Yo, shout out Michael Barner, great defense.
Great defense in 8th grade, bud. I'm having trouble getting behind the 11s and the 12s playing game. I'm having trouble getting behind.
I can't stand the playing games.
I don't like the playing games at all. As far as doing the 16 seeds,
that makes the most sense.
Let's include some of the other smaller mid majors, and let's get more involved in the 16 seed games.
But they're not trying to get more 16s in.
I know, but let's just say, okay, the playing games are a bunch of small schools.
Right.
You're going to be a nationally televised game for probably the first time this year.
Right.
You're going to get seen by a ton of people, a little more exposure for these small schools. Maybe one of them can start building a little bit, kind of like Mom is trying to do right now. If I'm Rutgers, if I'm Notre Dame, if I'm Wyoming, if I'm Indiana, they have ranked me an 11 seed.
Yeah.
And now I'm furious that St. Francis at a 10 seed, that makes sense. That's above that. I'm furious. Akron is a 13 seed, and now they're in no matter what. But I am supposedly 2 seeds better than them, and I have to be in. Now I understand the conference championship champions; they have to be in, and a lot of them not going to rank higher than a Rutgers or a Notre Dame. But come on.
I actually am of the opposite, where I think that the 16s should eliminate those playing games. Because I think, like a Rutgers, Notre Dame, these are high major teams that play in the NCAA tournament. I mean, Rutgers not so much, but regularly they have the opportunity to get an at-large bid. These 16 teams, these are once-in-a-lifetime opportunities for these kids. I feel for the 16s who lose the playing game because it doesn't really feel like you made the tournament. The beauty of the tournament for these small schools is to go up against the big schools, and when Wright State or Bryant takes an L, it's going to feel like they kind of made the tournament.
Yeah.
I think that sucks way more for those teams.
I agree. I would imagine I am with you that every conference champion should be in the tournament. Like you win your tournament, you're in the tournament.
Yes.
It's tough for me to get behind if you're saying that Rutgers is an 11 seed, either they're in the tournament or they're not an 11 seed.
Well, this was their thing. They complained that they wanted more teams in the tournament, so this is how they shifted to get 2 more teams in the tournament.
Yeah, I just don't like it.
I don't like it either because you're talking about 2 11s getting in.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not going anywhere.
No,
Although I think Loyola Chicago went to the Final Four from an 11 a couple years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. It just feels – I understand the dynamic. I understand because there are small mid-major conferences that win. That's a big reason why some of these smaller schools that are lower seeds than these teams, and they believe that a UAB at a 12 seed is not as good of a team as Notre Dame is.
I think the playing games are a joke.
So
what the hell is this?
I agree with you. I understand the dynamic. that, again, at Chattanooga, 13, not as good as Notre Dame, but because Notre Dame didn't win the conference championship, they can't just be in.
Yeah.
So now we'll use these two good teams in. But you're pretty much just telling people that we're not putting the best 64 teams in the country in the final tournament. We're just picking the conference champions and then the other good teams.
Yeah, well, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
But like you're supposed to be playing for the best team in the country,
right?
And you're not really.
Well, see, that's what they're trying to do in football. Is they're trying to just they're trying to just say screw everyone else.
Yeah.
We're going to try and make a separate league for Power 5.
Yeah, which I don't like that either. I want the small schools to be a part of it. It's the fun part of March Madness.
Especially at basketball, no doubt.
That's the fun
don't
part.
Don't mess with this.
Yeah. No, Monmouth is never going to Alabama in Tuscaloosa and beating Nick Saban. Not
under
happening.
No circumstance.
But in basketball, you have a good Alabama team and a good Monmouth team. You have a chance in a one thing. They're making shots. They're doing this. Football is just too big of an athlete sport. Where you're just
and there's just so many in depth and everything.
My God, you're going to go up against some of the best athletes you've ever seen in your life.
And the size is gigantic.
The offensive line from Monmouth is getting pancaked every time.
I remember when I went to go see West Virginia play LSU in Morgantown, and I went to go see West Virginia's team come in. I was like, oh, here they are. This side is Geno Smith, Tavon Austin. And then we saw LSU's bus come in. So I went down there to watch them come in. And those hog mollies getting off the bus, I was like, oh my God. There was this one like hillbilly dude. I'll never forget. This like 6'10" like offensive lineman gets off the bus for LSU. And this hillbilly goes, oh my God, son. What position do you play? Power forward? The guys are huge. I was like, oh, we're gonna get smoked.
Yeah. It's and you're talking about West Virginia, a Power 5 school against another Power 5 school.
Yeah.
So again, in football, it's a very different sport. But in basketball, you want those mid majors.
Well, they have the 3-point line, which is the ultimate equalizer. And the interesting thing is, I think this is really the equalizer. The 3-point line is the equalizer. But you also look at from top to bottom, like no matter what team you're going to look at in this tournament, they all have good guards. Like they all do. Maybe a little smaller at the smaller levels, but they all have good guards, like point guard, shooting guard. They're all really good there. The difference is like when they get above that in the size. Like I look at St. Peter's playing Kentucky. St. Peter's has a great team, but they're so undersized. They're like children playing against Kentucky.
So they have a good team.
They have a great team for their level.
There we go.
And yeah, they're gonna go up against Kentucky, and they're gonna get.
Kentucky has a great team.
Kentucky has a phenomenal. Yeah, that's just. I wanted to pick St. Peter's so bad, but it's just like you are reaching so far on that. Yeah, no way.
So again, I understand the concept here. Something feels off to me, and maybe it just get rid of the playing games altogether. I don't know what it is, but something feels off.
Who's happy? Like, what's really the purpose of getting two more? The 68, 67, and 68 in the country. What is the purpose of that?
The purpose is
it's probably saving guys a job who get in there.
Possibly. The purpose is I bet Power 5 schools complained that we had a good team this year. We played well. Mm-hmm. We lost in the quarterfinals of the most difficult Big East in the world, and I don't think that we should not be included because Bryant won the NEC. If I'm Georgetown at that time and I'm have a great team, we just screwed up in the quarterfinals of the Big East,
right?
And now we're like last 4 out or something like that. While again, Bryant's going to go play, in this thing. It's like I get why they're playing in it, but we deserve to be in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah. I get
so
that.
I understand why they did it, and it's always money. Where they're going to make more money on 4 more games they're going to make money on. So that's part of it as well. But again,
that's probably the driving. That's probably what pushes
money
over the
everything.
edge.
But everything just kind of feels off to me with the playing games.
Yeah, I never from the moment they were in, I was like, this sucks. I remember when I was fighting to get into the NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
I was like, if we get in, I'll be so pissed if we're in a playing game. Which we most certainly would have been.
100%, yes. Yeah.
And that would have just like I just can imagine how so sucky it would be to make like you want to be Quinnipiac going up against North Carolina.
Yes.
You don't want to be going up against UT Chattanooga.
And honestly, thank God you didn't make the NCAA tournament because based off your guys' game against Virginia Tech in the NIT.
Oh, we had given up.
Still.
No.
Still.
We were so demoralized that we lost.
Okay, how about Virginia Tech? You think they're hyped to be in the NIT, Sean?
Yeah, but we only lost by like.
They're probably one of those teams that was like, we should be in the freaking NCAA tournament instead of Colgate.
Now I got to play this team. I can't even pronounce their name.
Quinnipiac.
Oh, no. We were so checked out.
If you're checked out, they're checked out.
No, I was in. I got buckets in that game.
Point proven.
I was like getting bored. Oh, man. No way. Yeah, they were. Yeah, they killed us. Oh, my God. Malcolm Delaney had like 25 in the first half.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, moving on from this, I mean, we
it's
both have Duke winning.
It's going to be interesting. We got some.
It's March Madness. It's always
it's in March Madness.
It'll be fun. The last thing I want to talk about, Sean, and I always want to touch on it briefly, which usually turns into a very brief conversation. Then we go off on some rant about something else. Mm-hmm. Is potential spam call me? Ignore that. Is recently, and I'm sure you didn't see this. It was one of the reasons I like to include a topic like this.
Okay.
Have you seen the text messages between Pete Davidson and Kanye West?
No.
Exactly. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go over the text.
I know that there is some arguments going on.
So I'm not going to go over the text messages with verbatim or anything like that. And I don't have them in front of me. But it was, and I like Pete Davidson. I think he's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I think Kanye is kind of off his rocker, but
he's fully off his rocker.
Yeah. It was like such a juvenile conversation.
Okay.
Like Kanye was playing the role of, bring my children to Sunday service, and we'll talk there. Pete was playing the role of, no, I just want to go. Let's go somewhere private. I don't want pictures and stuff like that. I just want to go and talk this out and move on. Let's get over with this. But what I just described was a good conversation. We had Pete Davidson sending a picture. Kanye asked where Pete was at that exact moment. He sent a selfie of himself, like doing the peace sign, in bed with Kim. Like, he's like, I'm in bed with your wife. And it's like, what are we doing?
That's what he said. I'm in bed with your wife.
Like you want to, and apparently Pete Davidson leaked the texts. So it's like, neither of you came off well here. Like, you both came off juvenile as fuck about this whole thing, and now people if I don't care about this stuff, but I'm like looking at these kids. I'm like, these kids got these two morons.
I think my first thing that comes to my mind is, I think it's pretty clear that Kim Kardashian is living an orchestrated life. Mm-hmm. Like I saw something the other day that Kim Kardashian, Mrs. Kardashian, I don't know what her name is.
The mom?
What is the mom's name?
Megan
Kardashian. It's not Megan.
It's not Megan.
It is
Khloe, Kim, the other one. Not Caitlyn.
No. Well, that is they
call her
Jenner.
Mom? Jenner.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know if they would call her mom.
I bet not. But anyway, whatever the mom's name is, Karen.
I'm gonna find out. Kim Kardashian mom.
We're all gonna know it when we hear it.
Oh, it's not a Kardashian. That's what's screwing us up. It's Kris Jenner.
Oh, okay.
Chris. Screwing us up.
Chris. Okay. Of course, that we would have totally got it.
Yes, had we known.
So I found out the other day that she owns a church, and there's some tax loophole where when you donate to the church, you it doesn't count towards taxes somehow. But so they're all donating to the church, which is going to the mom, where they're assuming is just being redistributed back to the kids. Mm-hmm. From what I believe, and I feel like what I've heard, her initial sex tape orchestrated. She is from guy to guy to guy, dating Kanye West and then divorcing him, and that. I believe that she's living an orchestrated life, and that's fine. Do whatever it is that you want to do. So I don't buy any of this. I remember when I was with the Lakers, Kendall Jenner was dating Jordan Clarkson, who was on our team. And the rumor was that Kim said, you can't date him because he's not famous enough. And then she lumped him for some famous rapper. And so I think they're doing these, there's chess moves here. Yeah. And I think that this 100% is likely falling under that umbrella. She is the queen of getting people to talk about her.
She is.
What is she famous for? Nothing.
Sex tape. That's what.
But even that, she's nothing. She has no talent.
That we think Kris Jenner released on her own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's you know what? It's a really interesting thought that it's orchestrated. It honestly, if you want to dive a little bit deeper into the conspiracy, it kind of makes Kim seem like the most sane one of the group.
Yeah,
maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want Kim to be like, oh, Kim's the only one. That
she's been married to multiple people, I believe. She's had everybody she's dating is super famous.
Yes,
and Pete Davidson's kind of out of the blue.
Out of the blue, yes.
But yeah, I think I 100% believe that this is all chess moves. How does Kim Kardashian always end up on top of the People magazine newsstand? She's not. What is she giving to society other than gossip? But she's the queen.
She's the queen. Queen bee.
She really is. She's doing it, and she's there all the time. So
great job.
how like if I'm Pete Davidson, maybe he's trying to get more famous, and he's like, "What do I do?"
Yeah.
She's like, "Take this picture, send it out. Let's go." Here's a great question.
Here, let's hear it.
Was Kim Kardashian full makeup in that picture?
She wasn't in the picture.
Oh,
so no.
Okay, never mind.
That would have been a great question, though.
Yeah. Look, that's what I think. I think it's all orchestrated. I think it's a load of crap. To me, when I scroll through Apple News and I get to the celebrities portion, it blows my mind that people are interested in this. Like, I saw a picture the other day of Blake Lively leaving the gym. I was like, who cares? Who cares? They're like, she was wearing a jacket when she was leaving the gym.
Oh, she is very attractive.
She was wearing a jacket when she was leaving the gym. It's like who cares at all?
No, I'd rather know her that she's not wearing a jacket.
Fully nude, leaving the gym. That makes news.
Lively, good. All right, well, now great talk there, Sean. The finale, Sean. The finale. We have the results from the poll.
How many votes?
Total votes 86.
Well, that's a good number.
Great number. And we have a blowout.
Okay.
Now, I know exactly what Sean's thinking. What are the odds the blowout is in my favor?
I think it is. I think it is in my favor.
Well, I will read the one comment we received on this tweet.
Is it from somebody we know?
Yes, it is.
AC?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
He says,
he's gonna be out on me. He's not gonna like it.
He's kind of in between.
Okay.
Remember the time Sean bought a mat of rocks for someone for Christmas? Getting a pedicure isn't even top 5 reasons for him to be called a loose piece. There are plenty others.
AC, you like my country music playlists too, right?
Oh my goodness. Sean, never allow Sean to control the aux at your pregame. Sean will never be at your pregame, to be fair.
First and foremost.
Yes. But never allow him to control the aux. He has horrendous taste in pregame music.
Fair enough. I'm not even going to argue it.
There you go. But 86 votes, 10 minutes left. Let's see if there's any more votes. I doubt there is. 86 votes, 10 minutes left in the poll. We have 73.3% is the winner. And the winner is, Sean is not a loose piece for getting a pedicure.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are not the father.
Thank you.
26.7% say yes. There you have it, Sean. Your thoughts.
I'm not a loose piece. That's my thought. I knew it all along, and maybe I'll book another appointment.
Maybe you'll book another appointment. The thing I don't like is that 1,500 people saw this post, and only 86 of them voted. People did not want to engage.
I sent out like an email blast to my list last night.
Yeah.
Like a marketing email, and I hit submit. Like waited 5 seconds and then I refreshed it, and like they bring up the stats, like how many delivered, blah, blah, blah. And in 5 seconds somebody had unsubscribed. And to me that this is how this guy goes. He's sitting by his computer. He sees my email come in and he goes, "Enough already! Enough of this guy!" And he like angrily goes and unsubscribes.
Probably that's probably exactly what happened.
I've had enough of this guy's emails.
I have tried to unsubscribe from this guy 6 times. People just don't care about that unsubscribe button.
I don't even know. I don't know where they get my emails. People are like, reply for unsubscribing. They're like, thank you for replying. This indicates that you want more of my emails.
Thank you for replying.
I keep getting these texts telling me to help out Biden, and they keep calling me Siobhan. They're like, hey, Siobhan, Biden needs your help. I'm like, stop, please.
Yeah, Joey B, you're on your own, big guy. Great episode, Sean.
Hey, as
one
always.
of our longer ones.
Yeah,
What's your total time on yours?
59:39.
59:39. Okay,
and counting.
I got shorted.
Hey,
all right,
just excellent stuff, Patrick.
Excellent stuff, Sean. And until next time, see ya.
Sorry, we're closed.